Now that we have a nice fresh install of WordPress and Divi, there's a few things I want to clean up in the WordPress dashboard before we get any further. These are just going to make things nice and clean, and so you have nothing kind of extra in the way. And so let's go ahead and get these steps done. So the first thing that we're going to do, how to change the title and the tag of your website. So if you look at our base installation of WordPress, you can see here that it says My WordPress, just another WordPress site. So the My WordPress is what they have as the site title, and then just another WordPress site is our tagline for the site. This shows up in some areas of search, and the most important place that it shows up is in the tab on the web browser. So if you click or look up here, you can see where it has the My WordPress, just another WordPress site. So that's not super fun. We don't really want to have that there. So what we want to do is change the title and the tag so that we control what somebody sees when they're on our site. We want them to know exactly what site they're on and what it's about. So we're going to go here to the WordPress dashboard where we control all the things for the WordPress side of the site. And we're going to go down to where it says settings. Then we're going to click on general. And then the first section here is where it says site title and tagline. So that's what controls this area in the tab that we're seeing as a preview up here. So if I change this, it's going to change what people see when they're on the tab. So I'm going to go to site title and we're going to title blogging tutorials. And then tagline, it's just a very short synopsis of what the site is about. So for blogging tutorials, it's easy step-by-step WordPress tutorials. Or we'll change it to, we'll leave it as WordPress. But this can be changed at any time. So if I decide, no, I don't want it to say WordPress tutorials, I want it to say blogging tutorials, I can do that. Or I can just say easy step-by-step tutorials since it is already called blogging tutorials. So I probably don't need to have blogging tutorials in the tagline, but whatever it is that you want to have, you can just add it here and then go ahead and click Save Changes. And after we've clicked Save, we can go to the preview of our WordPress site and we'll see that change take place. So we'll go over here to My WordPress install and we'll just click refresh, and you'll see now that in this tab it says blogging tutorials, easy step, and then here we have blogging tutorials, easy step-by-step WordPress tutorials. So now you're all done with that. Is we're going to go in and we're going to delete the extra themes that are on our site. They're basically just taking up space and we don't need them. So if you go to Appearance and Themes, you're going to see you have these 3 extra themes and you don't need them. Otherwise, they're going to be asking you for updates. Like you can see here, it says new version available. We don't need to update them because we're not using them. So we're going to go ahead and just click where it says Theme Details on all 3 of the themes that we're not using. And we're going to go to the bottom right corner and click Delete. We're going to do that with each of the themes that has been automatically installed. So we've got 2021, 2020, and 2019. So now the last one, delete. And now the only theme we have is our Divi theme. Now, any of those themes, if you for some reason wanted to get them back, you could just go to Add New and find them. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go to the next step that we want to do for the cleanup of our WordPress install. So next, we're going to go to Plugins. And then I already showed you how to deactivate this WordPress starter plugin. We're just going to go ahead and delete it. There's no point in having any plugins on our site that we're not actively using. So you can either check it here on the left or you can click delete. If you do the check mark on the left, you're going to need to go up to bulk actions and then click delete. And then apply. Okay, so now we just have the SiteGround optimizer. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change our user profile. So we're going to go to users and then just click there. And then you see your profile, the admin profile. So we're going to go ahead and click edit. Now in here, there's a few things that I want to change. So you see up here where it says howdy with my name and, or my, howdy with my email address. I want to just change, I want it to say howdy Jessica, and then on my, when I create new posts, I want it to say something else as well. So first, if you want to, you can change the colors that are shown on your WordPress dashboard. So if you prefer different color scheme, you can just click here and it will change them, kind of like Gmail, how you can change the colors. So if you prefer like the blues or you want it to be purples, whatever it is, that's totally up to you. Just click the one you prefer. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as the default. Okay, and then this show toolbar when viewing site, I always leave this up, but some people like to take it off. It's when you're on your site and you can see this toolbar up here. And then here's why we're in this section to begin with. So I'm going to add my first name and last name. And then the nickname. So I don't want the nickname to be my email address because this is shown to people on the outside once I change it. So I'm going to just make this nickname. I could do as my site name, so blogging tutorials, but for now I'll just go ahead and leave it as Jessica LaRue. So where it says display name publicly as, now there's going to be a drop down menu. So I could do my first name, my last name, my full name, or first and last backwards. So I'm just going to go ahead here and do the Jessica LaRue. Okay, so if I wanted it to just be my site name, I could change that here. So it's not personal, it's just like a brand. And then you would see that that is now an option, blogging tutorials. Okay. All right, and then the next thing, if you have never set up a WordPress website before, your profile picture here is likely just a blank avatar, and it would also be shown up here as well. So you can see now it says Howdy Jessica LaRue, and it has my picture. Well, there isn't a way to add the picture directly into this WordPress site. You actually have to do it from Gravatar, and this goes across multiple different platforms. So it's likely you've probably created one in the past, but if you haven't, just click here where it says you can change your profile picture on Gravatar, and then you'll be able to set up a new Gravatar account, create your own Gravatar here, and that will make it so that any site that uses Gravatar will bring your picture in. So I'm not going to show that in this tutorial, but you can go through that process. Okay, and then it will import your picture. And so then on when you create a new post and things or make comments, this is the picture that's going to be shown. And then if you ever need to in the future change your password, you do that here. So once you've done that, then you're going to go ahead and click Update Profile. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change this menu structure down here, or these footers. Sorry, we're going to do the menu too up here, but this is this footer section we're going to change. We don't actually need these because we don't have any pages at this time, so there's no point having the archives, and then we don't like having that meta login information right here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take that off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Appearance and Widgets. And now you can see here we have this sidebar, and then we have our footer area 1, which has the archives category and the meta, and then footer area 2, which is empty, 3, which is empty, 4, 5, and 6 are all going to be empty as well. So this is what's controlling this sidebar here and this bottom section across all of the pages. So I'm going to just go ahead and make this super clean right now, and later you're going to go ahead and make those however you want them, but for now they don't even need to be there. So I'm just going to go into this widget section. And here where it says footer area number 1, I'm just going to drag and drop each of these widgets out. So I'm just going to take this archives and move it out. Footer area 1 categories out, and then meta out. So as soon as I drag it away, it just takes it out of this widget area. Now for the sidebar, I feel like there's no point in having the recent posts and the recent comments for a brand new site, because you don't want people to see that there's not a lot of comment, or there's not a lot of content, or a lot of interaction in the comments. So I would just personally recommend just completely taking those out. Now, if you do that, you're just going to have just the search. So it's up to you if you want to leave that right now or just take it out. Later on in a different tutorial, I'll show you how to kind of create a custom sidebar with better information for a new blogger. But for right now, we're just trying to kind of clean it up so that things look simple while we're creating this new site. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and take the search sidebar off so that there's nothing in the sidebar and there's nothing in the footers. That way, everything that's here will be what we created ourselves. Okay, so now this really just goes live as soon as you do it. So as soon as I click refresh, you'll see this information change. So now there's no footer and there's no sidebar. Well, the sidebar is still there, it's just empty. Okay, so one last thing that we're going to do in this video is we're going to change the menu structure for the site. Now, we don't have any pages or anything yet, so we're just going to create some page templates so that we can have a menu that isn't changing every single time that we create new pages. Because right now, if we added new pages, they're all going to show up in the menu, and we don't want to have that. So the next place that we're going to go is we're going to go to pages, and then we're actually going to just delete both of these pages. So just click that check mark and it goes to all of them, and then bulk actions, move to trash, and then apply. And then you can just go to the trash and delete it. You don't want to have any extra things on your site, so we're just going to go to empty trash. Okay, so now that we don't have any pages lying around here, we're going to go ahead and click add new. Now I know this seems kind of weird because we're not going to actually create the pages right now, but we're just creating a spot for the pages that we want to have on a brand new site. And so the pages that I recommend that you set up right now are the blog page, which is going to be your homepage for quite a while. Unless you're setting up a business website, you'll want to have a homepage. But if you're setting up just a blog and you're mainly focused on content, then you're just going to use that blog page as your homepage. All right, so our first one that we're going to create is blog. And then I also recommend that you do an about page and a contact page. So in our first website setup, we're focused on those 3 pages of our site. So we're going to go ahead here, and where it says add title, then I'm just going to put blog. So now that I typed in the title of the page, if I click here where it says permalink, you're going to see that the address for that page is going to be the site name /blog. And that's what I want. So anytime that somebody went to your site /blog, that's what they're going to see is the blog page that we will create later. So once that's done, you're just going to go ahead and click publish. And then you have this double confirmation. So we're just going to click publish. Okay, and then now we're going to close this. And then up here where it says new, we're going to go to new and page. Or you could go back if you wanted to pages and then new from there. We're going to go to new and then page. And the next one that we're going to create is the about page. So we're not creating any content yet. Like I said, we're just creating the framework for the page and for the menu. So I have about. Now you can see it's going to be my site name /about. Okay, and so that we don't have to do that double confirmation when we publish a page, let's change that setting real quick. So if you go over here to these 3 dots, these are our options, and then you go down to the bottom where it says preferences. You'll see this one on the top says include pre-published checklist. So just uncheck that and you won't have to do that confirmation. And then we'll close that here. And now when I click publish, it's not going to ask me to confirm. All right, and then our last page just to set up our menu is going to be the contact page. So going to new and page, and then contact. And now I can click publish, super easy, and it's not going to ask me to do any confirmation. All right, so now that that's ready, let's go ahead and work on our menu structure, and that'll be the last thing for this video. So if we take a quick look at the site, you can see that we have right now, before I refresh, we have home and sample page. And then when I refresh, it's just going to add all the new pages. So now we have home, about, blog, and contact, which is great, except for if I add more pages. So maybe I add ones that I don't want to be in the menu automatically, that's just going to go right to the menu. And so we need to actually create a menu that is static, that won't change just because we make changes on the site. So we're going to make this actually say almost the same exact things. We're just going to change the order. And then once we add more pages later on, these are not going to change automatically. So now we're going to go to our dashboard again. And then we're going to go to appearance and then menus. Now we don't have any menus now, so we just need to create a menu. So we're going to do menu name, and then you could do main menu or header or automatic, whatever you want to call it, but I'm just going to call it main menu. And then I'm going to click create menu. And this is going to be our primary menu. Okay. And then we're going to choose the pages that we want to have in the menu. So our most recent pages are already here. So we have the blog, about, and contact. So we're going to go ahead and click all 3 of those and add them to the menu. Now, just a kind of heads up, posts will also be here, and then you can do a custom link. So if you wanted to link to an outside website or like an email link or something like that, you could just type in the URL and then the link text that you want to have. And then it will also do categories. So for right now, I just want to put those 3 main pages that I want to show up in the menu. So they went in as contact, about, and blog. Now any of these can be moved. So you just click when you see the little 4 arrow icon and then you drag it. So I'm going to put blog, and then I'm going to do about, and then I'm going to do contact. Now, when you're moving your menu items, you'll notice that if I click on this and I move it to the right a little, that the box behind it moved. So if I was to do it like that, it's going to show up as blog, about, and then a drop down that says contact. So I don't want to do that here. So I'm going to go ahead and move it over. Later on, when you have more pages that you may want to have in your menu, maybe you have sales pages or products, you could create one menu item that said products, and then underneath you could have all the products as sub items so that they show up in a drop down. But for right now, we're just going to go have blog, about, and contact, and then we're going to save that menu. Now when I go back to the site, you'll notice that the order changes and it will no longer have home. All right, so now we have blog, about, and contact. All right, so now our setup is pretty clean. We've got it how it's just a nice blank slate. So that's it for this video.